what do you think the most common misconception would be for players and parents about the college recruiting process?
Everybody doing the most. You see on social media, this player's committing and she gets 3,000 likes because she committed to a Power 5 school. And you think that that is everybody when that is like the 0.001% of players. If you want to play in college, there is a division, then there is a place for you. It's just a matter of finding it.
We might laugh, we might learn, we might be your game's missing piece.
What's up, guys? We're back with the SoccerGirl Pod, and this week we are discussing all things college recruiting, which can be very intimidating for a lot of players. We're talking with Kim DeCesare, who not only used to play pro and coach at the collegiate level, but she's now taking all of her experience in the soccer world and she's putting into helping you get recruited to college.
Kim gave great advice for parents and players who are looking to play at the collegiate level. So I'm really excited for this episode. It's chock full of information. So enjoy.
Thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. This is really exciting. It's good to see you guys.
We would love if you could give us a little bit of a background. I mean, I know you from training for college preseasons back in the day when you were going to Duke, but we'd love if you could give everyone a little bit of a recap of your playing kind of journey and how you ended up where you are today.
Yeah, of course. So I grew up on Long Island, Massapequa, and I played soccer from the time I was very young and was fortunate enough to get recruited to play at Duke. And then I played at Duke for actually 5 seasons because I did my ACL. Shout out to all you guys who've done your ACL. I did my ACL my senior year of high school, so I redshirted my freshman year of college. Had a great college couple of seasons and was fortunate enough to play professionally after that. So I played pro for 5 years. I played 3 years in the NWSL, and I played about a year abroad in the Netherlands and about a season in Sweden as well. But after that, I always knew that I wanted to be a coach. So when I was finished playing, I started my coaching career at Elon in North Carolina. So I was an assistant there. And then following that, I was a head coach for a Division III for 3 years, Franklin College. And then I actually got into digital marketing. My husband is actually a Division I college coach, so his career kind of paralleled mine in some way and in location. So he was an associate head coach at Duke, and then was the head coach at IU, Indiana, and now he's an assistant at Florida State. So 2 coaches in one household willing to work. So I decided to pivot a little bit and work remote in digital marketing. And then I started KDD Soccer Consulting about 3 months ago.
There's so much soccer jammed into that journey.
Well, what's funny, I didn't know that you coached at Elon, but that was one of the schools I was like really interested in. But I did not know a lot about recruiting. Like, I wish I had help back then. And I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there now. There's a lot of great information, but also a lot of information that probably is not leading players in the right direction.
And I feel like it's changing constantly.
Yes. So I would love to know, is that one of the reasons why you started your recruiting consulting? Like, because of that misinformation, or like because there's not a place where players can get all the right info of how to be recruited correctly?
That's exactly it. It started 3 years ago when I was still coaching. I had a former teammate, Molly Passman from Duke, who she's a PT now, and she trains a ton of kids in North Carolina. And she was calling me once a week and being like, Kim, this player needs help. Like, I need some advice here. I need some advice there. And then she said to me, she's like, you need to start a business because I'm always calling you. Over time, I've gotten more questions, and I've literally helped probably hundreds, especially with like the ID. I used to run ID camps and speak at camps and panels and all of that. Probably hundreds of players, and it just wasn't ever an official business. And then, a couple months ago, actually the spark was my husband Erwin got back from the ECNL California tournament or showcase, and he was like, Kim, he's like, players and parents are like off their rocker. Like, they do not know what to do. There is so much information online, and not that that information is not good, because it is good information. You just don't know what's good and what's bad. The goal here is obviously that players find the best fit for them, but also that like the next 1 to 3 years that they're going through the process is not stressful, because they have enough to worry about with school and soccer that like they shouldn't stress about oh my gosh, all these emails I have to send later, but like, do I send them to this coach? Do I send them to that coach? Like, when do I send them? When I get on a phone call, I'm so nervous about this phone call. Like, that shouldn't be the stress. It should be enjoying playing. And I like to think I help them take the stress out of the process, because the last thing you want is to get to college and already hate soccer.
I have to say the phone calls were definitely like the most stressful thing ever about the recruiting for me. I hated going on the phone with like a college coach. I think there's so many misconceptions about the college recruiting process too. What do you think the most common misconception would be for players and parents?
I think the most common misconception is that everybody's doing the most. Like, because you're so impacted, especially as a young player, and assuming most, especially girls, have social media. So you see on social media, this player's committing and she gets 3,000 likes because she committed to a Power 5 school, a top school, and she's holding their national championship trophy. And you think that that is everybody, when that is like the 0.0001% of players. So then you're like, well, I'm not doing that, or I don't play for maybe the best club team in my area. And you then feel like you're not doing enough, or maybe college soccer is not a place for you. And I think that if you want to play in college, there is a division, then there is a place for you. It's just a matter of finding it.
I also can't stress enough, like some of these people that they commit so early, that isn't also not necessarily the best thing. So much can change about where you want to be, or what type of coaching you like, or your position, the position that you feel confident in. So just because you make that decision super early doesn't mean it is the best path forward. But a lot of players and parents, I think, feel like you're in the headlights because they don't know where to start with this process. In your opinion, where is the best place to start, or how, or what do you even do?
All right, we'll keep it fairly simple. I mean, the best place to start is just to get organized and start your research. So what does that look like? Very simple with an email. Making an email with your name, your full name, and your graduation year at gmail.com. And having an email solely for the recruiting process. And that's just a recommendation, but that helps keep everything organized, right?
That's so smart to have the year in your email.
Yeah, and we don't need like Lindsay at the beach, sunny girl, XOXO at Gmail. We can have a mature one. That's good.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, no soccer babe. I mean, I definitely,
Yeah.
that's a good place to start. And then just starting to look up programs online. And I know that sounds like so overwhelming, but there are multiple different resources that you can go to. One particular one is it's called NSCA, and you can register through them. It's a recruiting platform, and they have a college finder, so you can filter to any college in the country based on division, based on state and location. And the players that I work with, I usually recommend for them, if they're really starting out, create an account, log on, and just check out different schools in that area. And it'll link right to the college soccer page. I know it's so overwhelming to say like, oh, research, because like, what do you even look at? But to start, you can read player bios and like where they came from. Like, did they play at a similar level than maybe you're at? Are most of them coming from maybe that state that the college is located in? Maybe that is an indication of where the coach recruits heavily. So I think that's a good start.
I'd love to talk more about like communication with coaches, because I mentioned earlier like how I was so nervous for phone calls and everything like that. But I know a good place to start would be like emailing coaches. So what does a good email look like for a college coach when you're first starting to talk with them?
Yeah, so definitely think simple, especially if you're sending out emails your sophomore year. What's important is that subject headline, that it has your name, your graduation year, your team, your club team. Sometimes you can put your high school team, kind of leave the high school team out. It kind of depends. And then your jersey number. And then if you have a defining factor about you. So there's only a handful that I think that stand out. Like if you're left-footed, if you're actually left-footed, right? Not your, I'm ambidextrous. So if you're left-footed, if you're a goalkeeper, I think that position is important to put. If you are really tall, and I say really tall, it's 5'7" or above, I would also put that in your subject, because that is something that you're taller than the normal female college soccer player. So start simple. That subject, really important. And then when you are addressing a college coach, and like how all the players that I work with, address one of them. So like send an email to one coach. You can CC others, or you can set, is it the school that you're very interested in? Send a specific email to each coach. And the reason being is we've all been on group projects where like, you're like, oh, can somebody do this? And then it doesn't get done, right? So you want to be like very direct with your communication of like, hi, Coach Bob, like I'm sending this email to you, right? Because I want you to answer it, not to the whole coaching staff. And then it gets lost because they're like, yeah, like our recruiting coordinator, the person that's in charge of recruiting will answer it. And then they don't. You want to increase your chances of a response, or if you're not going to get a response because you're sophomore or younger, of a coach seeing it and making notes. And then I always say to put an actionable item in there. So if you are sending an intro email, the actionable item could be something as simple as, I will keep an eye out for your next ID camp and hopefully I can make it and I will register. Or I have an upcoming showcase. I will send you my schedule. And that actionable item, if you are in control of it, it is, I believe, a better form of communication than you say, hey, let me know when your next ID camp is. Keep it very simple and straightforward. And then also add your GPA, especially if it's...
Do we have to? No.
And the reason why I say that is like, especially if it's like above a 3, I would say a 3.3, 3.4, or you have mostly A's and B's, because that is just a barrier that coaches don't really want to deal with if they don't have to. So like they look and they see, oh, you got a 3.7 GPA. Okay, fine. You can probably get into the school. I want you for soccer.
What happens if you're not getting responses? Like at what point are you being too annoying?
That's good. That's a good question.
Because I feel like, you don't want to feel like you're
bothering,
putting in all the effort and you're getting no effort back. And then it's like, when have I, overstepped my communications? But I feel like a lot of people run into that issue.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been on the receiving end of it, and I've also been the one that has been sending those spammy emails all the So as a sophomore, a coach can't answer you. So I would say a once a month touch base if there's no like event coming up of like, hey, reminding you I'm still here. Right? I'm here. Like, still look at me and I'm still interested. And then as a junior, if you're not getting a response, I would say after a couple months and 3 to 4 follow-ups, I would then, and this might not be popular opinion, I would kind of leave them to the side, maybe send 1 or 2 emails for your next showcases. And if you really love that school, go to an ID camp, get on campus.
With highlight videos, what is something that makes one stand out, and what is something that would make a coach click away?
It's kind of hard for a video to like stand out just in itself. They're watching a video, they're not seeing you live, they're not hearing you, they're not seeing how you're perceived on the field, right? So a video can only do so much. But I would say to make a coach click away would be if the video is way too long, if you're a forward and it doesn't start off with all the goals that you scored. If it is, and I've gotten these, if it is a training video of you like finishing either on an open goal or with like another player or two.
Really?
That's good to know.
That was good to know. I would have thought that like you could really showcase your at least technical skills or anything in like a training setup. But yeah, you guys don't give a crap.
Because the game is so much decision making that it's very hard to like, and you might be able to strike a ball like no other or even set pieces. But if you don't have a wall standing there and you're under pressure and the pressure of a game and to score that set piece, like is it the training scenario, it's just not the same. The only exception I would say is at the end for goalkeepers, if you do want to add a couple clips of you training, because that's showing a little bit more athleticism of you like maybe full on stretched out, saving a ball that your keeper coach is finishing at the goal. As a defender, put your hard tackles first, put your 1v1 defending first. Don't put your goals first if you want to play as a
coaches. What I'm learning is like the coaches are really just like glorified people scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you just need to like get their attention and impress them, at least in the beginning, right off the bat, so they stay. You just need to not show anything terrible throughout the whole rest of the video to lose their attention.
Yes, and the video should be less than 3 minutes. I mean, short is good. And also have that first page of the video, the information about you. So a picture of what you look like, your name, your club team, your number, your height, whatever else, like a couple other decals that you would put in a player profile as well. Then once you get into like the video, have it be like the position specific stuff first.
So once you send out this highlight video and you have a bunch of coaches asking you to go to their ID camps, or you have, telling you what tournaments they're going to be at or showcases, things are so expensive. And Alana just did a video on this. Like, it's crazy the cost now. How do you know what's worth the investment and what's not? Because it's really hard for a lot of families to pay for all of that.
Yeah. And some of these events are money grabs at the end of the day.
There's a lot of different variables here because you have time, which in many people's situation is more limited than the amount of money that they're willing to spend. So you've got time, money, and then the priority of like, what do you pick? I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning of like where to start is to like get organized. So part of that is organizing your schedule, taking time to put down all the dates of your games and showcases, and then the schools that you are interested in. Let's talk about a junior. The school that you're interested in as a junior, looking up their upcoming ID camp date and plugging that into the schedule, because you might see that 2 schools that you like have an ID camp on the same day and you have to pick one, or you're making the decision to pick one. And that's when you do a little bit more research and then bring in the other variable of like, oh, is that coach interested in me? Have I already talked to them? Is this the school that I really want to visit? Is this a main priority school or is this a second tier? So I think a lot of it is getting organized and understanding your schedule, because you also don't want to go from ID camp to showcase ID camp and get burnt out, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why being organized and prepared kind of helps with the schedule aspect. And then the price is obviously very family dependent, because everyone knows that club soccer right now, unfortunately, is pay to play. Like, a lot of it is travel. You pay thousands of dollars to fly, to rent hotels, and also just to participate. It costs a lot of money. So I would say that setting up those priorities and your schedule then helps you say, okay, if my parents and I discuss that I'm going to go to one travel ID camp, right? Like one where I fly to for the next 6 months, it helps you decipher which one is the best one that's suited for you if you have it all laid out in front of you. And then another suggestion that I have is when you do travel to an ID camp, go visit another school in an area. Like, don't just see that school. Like, there might be 2 or 3 others that you can walk around, and maybe it's not for soccer, but it's just to get an idea of another campus. Like, you can make the most of a visit like that and see another school too.
So when you're organizing all of this, does it make sense to organize like which, I know you mentioned earlier about like a list with divisions. Should you narrow down like, okay, I only want to look at Division I schools, or should you be saying like, I'm looking at all the divisions and deciding from there? Like, it's so hard. I feel like I was like so focused on only looking at Division I schools, which is so silly.
Yeah, some of
because I'm not going to go pro. I should have looked at the school itself. So how do you do that? Like, what's the best way for someone to decide what division they should be looking at?
I think you just answered the question, and like, it's not necessarily the division. It really isn't, because when you look at college soccer, and I'm talking just Division I, Division II, Division III, and I know that NAIA and JUCO is another conversation a little bit, but Division I through III, it's the time commitments are very similar. You have a full fall season and you have a full spring season. And yes, in Division III and Division II, budgets are a little bit less, so you might not fly. But the commitment is still similar. I don't think you should necessarily start with division focus. Yes, of course, if you are playing on a youth national team or you're on a very elite club team, like that makes sense to focus on Division I. And also, if you really want to go to a big school, most big schools are Division I. But I think you focus on the other aspects, especially if playing pro after college is not something that either you can do or you think you can do, or you're choosing to do. If you want to look at location, like the vibe of the school, the type of classes, the academics, like all of those things. And majority won't go play pro after college. So ideally, you want soccer to get you into the best academic school possible. I think that that's a goal for a lot of players is, all right, well, I might not be able to get into a school on my own, but can soccer help me get into a better academic school. Maybe not look at just the division. And I used to be, and I will be honest, I used to be a Division I snob. Straight up, Division I only, like soccer is life, right? And then I coach at Division III, and I'm like, literally nothing's different. Like, and it's so funny. It is players that are into it more and that love soccer more than when I was coaching and even playing at Division I.
It's so funny. You used to have like the perception that like, oh, there's just like a totally different level of play until we got like our asses.
Oh yeah, watch sport. Oh yeah. And I was like, when we went to that camp, and those girls were so good at the Division III school, and they were so smart. I was like, yeah, this is.
Oh, I was like, yeah, there was literally no reason to have that perception about D1. It's so true.
If you could give one piece of advice to every high school player that's listening who does want to play college soccer, what would it be?
One piece of advice is to have fun playing soccer.
It sounds so simple.
Agreed.
But it is hard.
It is hard, but it is the most fun. If you can find the joy in playing and keep that joy, you will be the best player that you are physically able to be.
All right, well, this conversation, I've learned too much. I need to go back and take notes and listen to it again. But for everyone listening, if you are interested in hearing more information about this, we're going to be doing some freebies and a little series with Kim as well, just to give you some more details that maybe we didn't cover in this episode. So those are going to be coming out over the next few weeks. And then in the bio of this podcast, we will also link all the ways that you can get in touch with Kim.
Kim, thank you so much. If I was a soccer parent, I would feel very good right now after listening to this with all the information, or if I was a player. So we just really appreciate it, and we're excited to continue to work with you because you're such an amazing resource for all the players and parents out there.
Thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to continue to work together, but also to see both of you and to have a really good chat. So thank you for doing this.
That was a great convo. I hope you learned something from it. You know the deal. Follow us on everything. Add us on everything. Subscribe to all the things. You know where you can find us, and we'll be back with more episodes.
Soccer girls, you know we got some problems, so tune in on where we talking how to solve them. We might laugh, we might learn, we might be your king.